Hey YouTube, it's ICU, and today, following the excitement of yesterday's Apple keynote where they revealed the iPhone 6s and more, they also issued iOS 9 GM or Goldmaster, which is essentially the finalized build of iOS 9 intended for public release, as well as iOS 9.1 Beta 1 to register developers. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to install iOS 9 GM on any iOS device. Alright, now there are a few things I need to mention. So if you're used to the iOS beta update process, you can click on the annotation that should be on your screens now. That will allow you to actually skip ahead. First and foremost, the differences between iOS 9.1 and iOS 9 GM. Essentially, 9.1 will be issued to the general public probably around November when the iPad Pro is released. Now, I recommend updating to iOS 9 GM over 9.1 for one main reason. It essentially is the finalized build intended for public release. We don't have as many bugs with it. iOS 9.1 is a brand new beta firmware, and we also don't have the same developer beta checks in iOS 9 GM because, again, it's almost public ready. Also, if you are interested in going to iOS 9.1, the same steps in this tutorial will apply. However, you need to be on iOS 9 GM before actually updating to iOS 9.1. Also, remember, there are activation issues that could pop up at any point in time. I definitely recommend watching my earlier iOS 9 Beta 1 install video, which highlights how to circumvent all issues. Now, if you're on iOS 9 beta and you want to update to GM, all you have to do is launch up settings, go to general, and then software update and perform what's known as an OTA or over-the-air update, and you'll be good to go. That's it. You don't have to follow what I'm about to highlight in this tutorial. However, if you intend to make the update from iOS 8.4.1, you'll be good to go. It will be extremely easy and fast to update to iOS 9 GM, and good thing because you can't jailbreak on iOS 8.4.1 yet. However, if you are on a jailbroken device, whether it's iOS 8.4, 8.3, or even earlier, then definitely do not update to iOS 9 as you will lose your untethered jailbreak. If you don't care about that though, then you can definitely make the update. Alright, so what you need to do first is download the corresponding IPSW for your device. If you're on Windows and you have something that handles zips or compressed files, it may not recognize it. So what you have to do is unzip it first, and if it changes the extension, you need to change it back to .ipsw. Once it's at that IPSW extension, iTunes will recognize it. So you need to plug your device into your computer via standard USB cable on Windows or on Mac. Once you do launch up iTunes, navigate to the device tab, and depending on what computer you're on, you're going to hold down Shift on your keyboard for Windows or Option or Alt if you're on a Mac like I am. From there, you need to click on check for update and not restore. That's very important. Once you do, you can point it at iOS 9 GM and click on update. Alright, now inside of iTunes, it's saying that it's extracting the software and then it will start to prepare the iPod for a software update. Now, if you're interested in watching the entire update process, I will actually have a link to my iOS 9 Beta 1 install video on your screens now in the cards, as well as in the annotations. I'm actually going to cut out this process because on the 5th gen iPod Touch, it's incredibly lengthy. So if you want to see how long it may take for you based on your device, again, it does vary, then you can check out that video. But I'm going to cut this part out. Once we have some progress on the bar beneath the Apple logo, I will let you guys know and show you that bit before we cut again. Alright, so here we are. We have a good bit of progress on the 5th gen iPod Touch below the Apple logo with that progress bar. It has gone through a number of verification checkpoints inside of iTunes, but remember, because this is a GM build and because we did do that check for update option, we should be good to go and we should be on iOS 9 GM shortly. Once this finishes and your device reboots, there's just a final on-device consolidation step. I'll be back for that. And once iTunes gives you the message that the restore is finished, you can actually unplug and you're good to go. Now I skipped ahead to that reboot. As you can see here, the screen turned off. We have an Apple logo. We can actually unplug right now, but I'm just going to leave it connected to the dock. And once the Apple logo pops up with a bar beneath it, that's the on-device consolidation, and it shouldn't take long at all, but I'm just going to skip it really quick. Alright, as you can see, we should be at the slide to setup screen shortly, and once we are, I'm just going to swipe over and go through the on-screen steps. I'll be right back. All right, so here we are at the end with the welcome to iPod screen. I'm going to tap on get started, and I can already say that this 5th gen iPod Touch is much faster and much smoother on iOS 9 GM than it ever was on any of the other betas, and it actually seems a little bit faster than it did on iOS 8.4.1 just in that update process, guys. They definitely did some work on improving that, especially for some of the lower spec Apple or iOS devices. So as you can see here, we have the News app. I'm just going to tap to launch it to show you guys that we are indeed on iOS 9. As you can see, we have the welcome to news screen here. I'm just going to press the home button out of it. We also have the new redesigned wallet app, and let's go back here, launch up settings, general, about, and down below at the bottom for the version, you'll notice it does confirm we are on iOS 9 or 9.0 GM. That's the final build number there. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, and if it helped you update, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Let me know what you think about iOS 9 down below in the comment section. Remember, if you're on iOS 8.4.1, you might as well make the update to iOS 9, especially if you're interested in all of the new features Apple has implemented in this latest release. Now, if you guys are interested in earning paid apps and gift cards for free, just be sure to navigate to freeappsfast.com inside of Safari. Once you do, you can just sign up, start downloading some apps, and then redeem the points that you receive for some awesome prizes. Again, gift cards and paid apps from Apple's App Store. And if you want to be updated more often, such as when I release videos similar to this one, as well as ones covering various jailbreak updates and tutorials, just be sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And until next time, this is ICU signing out.